of the day it is you happen to be listening. This is the P&A Podcast Express, heavy on Express, not just the plain old P&A podcast you find out there on generic sites. This is the full-blown Podcast Express. I guess it could be full-blown. Is that like caffeinated decaf?
Well, if your doctor says the word's full-blown, it's probably not good.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad. But this is the June 15th edition, episode 952-12-943.
657-859. Anyway, he's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nichols. This is the P&A Podcast Express.
Feeling weird.
Not to feeling a little weird here. We had a great show meeting, and we were making fun of some of our favorite radio personalities, and we're not going to do that here, but it was awesome.
It was.
I wish you could hear it.
I was impressed by it. I'd like to see more of that in our pre-show meetings.
Well, and I think we burned up a lot of A material, too, but it's okay. It'll be okay.
I feel energized.
It was good.
So
it was a good comedy session. I think my side hurts, and I might have peed a little bit.
Yes, I peed a lot.
That's why we got the little piddle pad underneath you.
Yes. That's a good thing.
We're getting old.
You're not getting any younger.
That's a callback, but you didn't hear what it's a callback to. So, but we enjoyed it.
I could talk about my loofah on a stick.
It changed my life.
I can reach places that I've never been able to reach them without that loofah on a stick.
There are places that haven't been cleaned since the 70s.
It's just amazing. I was cleaning and some bell bottoms just fell out of there. I don't know what was going on.
That was my platform shoes.
With the fish in it. Fish is still good.
That's a perfectly good fish.
Sushi shoes, that's what I call them. You get hungry, you just crack that thing open and eat some sushi.
Sushi shoes.
So anyways, we know what's going on.
Well, we had a great episode last week. We had two great episodes last week. It's going to be hard to follow up that song. I think Tuesday's episode, the See You Next Tuesday episode, last Tuesday, probably one of our most outstanding efforts to date.
Yeah, it didn't hurt that we had such fodder with the P&A podcast.
And no, that one of the sincerest forms of flattery ever for this podcast was the fact that one of our listeners thought that we actually took the time to make that podcast in a ruse that was us.
Yeah, and it was not.
I mean, we're not comedic geniuses per se, but that is brilliant if that would have been the case.
Yeah, in searching for that, I did find another, what appears to be a fitness podcast called the P&A Podcast.
Oh my goodness, fitness? Like
still just the P&A Podcast.
Fitness beer in my mouth?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're going to give this a quick listen here.
We are at the Silver Tavern, too, by the way.
Yes, the Silver Tavern.
The famous Silver Tavern.
Before we go into this, go send us emails. We got some emails and some Facebook messages. We'll go into
we have to share a few of them with you.
Yes, we will.
While we're on the subject of our listeners, thank you. I want to say a shout out to Eric Kennedy for getting your cows a new fan and then sending me a snap of them enjoying it. I really loved it.
Yeah,
his cows got a brand new fan in the barn and they loved it. Eric, good job.
Does he pump the podcast into the cows?
He should. They would give more milk, I guarantee it.
Oh, they definitely would.
Yeah. And, so, Eric, if you're listening.
Yeah, if you do, I just want to say, they'll know what that means.
They'll know exactly what that means.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the soothing tones of Adam Filkins speaking his native cow tongue.
So, and also know, brothers and sisters, Phil and I both had chicken. So
we did.
Yeah.
It was glorious. I had a crispy chicken sandwich, and you had chicken wings.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. Come to the Silver Tavern for some really good food.
You'd be impressed. All right. And by the way, email us, pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com. That's pickled, nefarious assholes. podcastexpress@gmail.com or pineapple nipple arsehole @gmail.com. Either one's good.
I also chose to bookend things here for the show, the preview. I have drunken notes I wrote to myself, and I also have a very academic essay written by one of the U.S.'s most historically well-known figures, and
nice.
It was written in 1781. some of his lesser-known work. It actually isn't published with all of his other essays, but I found a copy of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so we're going to give this other PNA podcast a listen. I don't know if it will give us the... we haven't listened to this yet.
No, we're going... I mean...
Raw Dog.
Raw Dog.
So we're gonna raw dog this in, and we'll see how this one does.
Could be putting a square peg in a round hole.
It could be no peg and no hole.
Maybe it's the same guys.
Selectively respond to some of the many available affordances in their environment. How do they coordinate their action to keep multiple affordances available? How can this ability to be developed in practice? A look at skilled intentionality. So it's time.
What the fuck? This guy's just making up words.
Oh, that theme music is awful.
This is Rob Gray from Arizona State University. I've been on a now over 25-year journey as a
sounds like a New Yorker.
Professor and high-performance consultant to understand how we acquire and adapt our perceptual motor skills. Welcome to the Perception and Action Podcast.
This guy's full of shit.
The Perception and Action Podcast. Let's pause it there for a second. Whoa. The Perception and Action Podcast.
I guarantee this guy has a vision board.
Oh, well, he definitely has a thesaurus.
Yeah, and he's just making up words, man. You can't just put ly on the end of a random word and think it's still a word.
Yeah, just adding ly to a word does not make it more worldly.
No, it makes it more Adamly, but not more wordly.
Yeah, I want to say worldly when I try and say
sort of turd wordly.
Yeah,
it's kind of a turdly move.
Turd burglary.
Yeah, turdly burglary.
So he's got a lot of episodes.
He had a lot of hits. I mean, does it show his downloads? Is this on YouTube?
Yeah, but oddly enough, they're not there.
Ooh.
This one has 131.
So I had tacos for lunch today because it's Taco Tuesday, and I put too much hot sauce on them. Things kind of burn a little bit.
Only 5 likes. I mean, you may have burning ass, but...
What's that?
Perception and Action Podcast.
Podcast.
Beyond just arguing about skill acquisition theory to better support
skill acquisition theory.
So, skill acquisition theory, is that like practice theory?
Skill acquisition theory. So, if you want to theoretically, if you want to acquire these skills, it's going to take some skilled actuary and manly practicely, and that's how you do it.
You're going to have
here at Arizona State University. I've been here for 25 years.
Actually, Arizona State University, Topeka.
Yeah, it's a satellite sister school.
Satellite sister school.
So if you want to acquire these skills, skill acquisition theory is the name of my second published book. The first one was in Cran, and I published it when I was 4.
Some people would refer to that as practice, the skill acquisition theory. But if you put it into practice, it's no longer a theory, and that blows my theory up.
Yeah, I haven't figured out the proof of this theory yet. But I do say, if you practice something long enough, there's a 1 in 7 chance that you will acquire that skill.
So he has like 358 episodes.
Oh, Lord.
And they're all like 15 minutes long. One goes an hour and 15 minutes long, and then there was another one that was over 2 hours long.
My goodness.
I wonder if it was a live show like ours.
I'm here at the Kinetics Lab.
At Arizona State University, Topeka.
We are currently throwing tennis balls against the wall, which is good practice, but the wall always bends. Oh, shit! Anyway, that's not as wholesome, not as great as the actual PNA podcast we listen to
on
YouTube. This guy actually sounds annoying as fuck.
Yeah, he sounds just as annoying as those guys without the payoff.
Without the charm. He's just as annoying as the guys on the other PNA podcast without the charm, Adam.
Yes.
Anyway, some of your user submissions. We'll stand this.
Oh. I'm here with my friend.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm here. My name is Austin. You have a name?
This just gives my ears orgasms.
Is it me, or do they kind of sound like the male version of the sweaty balls ladies?
They kind of do.
So, can I put your sweaty balls in my mouth?
So you have a name?
I should have never said that. You know, some weirdo is going to put that on loop and
did you get to
jerk off.
Did you get to choose your name? Because I kind of don't like it. I mean, if I were to choose, I don't think Austin, although alphabetically it's pleasing, but
you're going to get a lot of butt dials because you're going to be the first person on everybody's phone. Trust me.
So why would you pick that? Coming from AA, Ron, why would you think that's a good idea?
Seriously, on that note, do you know how many people I've heard sing in their car?
From butt dials, yes.
From butt dials.
Being
or
Adam.
I'll hear arguments. Because unless somebody actually knows an AA Ron,
yeah,
I'm the first person in their phone.
Yes.
And I get lots of weird dials. I mean, I've heard bathroom noises. I've heard, anything you can think of.
I was just thinking of our pre-show banter. It was fucking good.
It was.
I wish I could have just been the show.
Yeah.
But we made a commitment. We've made a commitment to be committed to being on air at 7:30 in the morning on Mondays. That's when we release our show.
Because that's when everybody's going up and at it on a Monday.
And it really fits into my mom's.
As an Austin, I'm always up on a Monday.
Yeah. Is that really your name? Are you here right now? I always thought it was just me.
Define here.
There's a good chance that 99.99999% of us are going to be stuck on Earth forever.
Yeah,
and when I say Earth, it means
that's why I astral project.
Yeah. So I really want my ashes when I die and move on to the afterlife to be shot into outer space when I'm cremated. That way I can leave this godforsaken planet.
I bought a replica of that record that they put on the spaceship, and it's not very good.
I'm afraid, though, if I do get cremated, my mom's going to accidentally vacuum up my ashes.
She could. She vacuums a lot.
She says she likes the vibrations. That's why we still have the heavy, fully metal Kirby from 1972.
Sometimes I take that big hammerhead-looking thing off the front of it and put the hose on and pull my hair with it.
I still cut my hair with the Flowbee.
I've got the hair-cutting vacuum.
It's a Flowbee.
So you got Drunk Phil notes.
Oh, yeah, Drunk Phil notes. All right. Drunk Phil notes. All right, it's time for me to come clean because Drunk Phil wants me to. I allow myself to be catfished, by the way. I play along with it, like on Instagram and everything else. It's one of my big hobbies.
Nice.
Yeah, like I love it when I'm being catfished, and I like to play along a lot. Yeah. So Drunk Phil wanted everybody to know that Sober Phil is into being catfished. He doesn't mind. I might even send a little bit of money every once in a while just to keep him interested.
All I can do is 5 this week.
It's been a rough week. I spent all my time. I got fired from my job because I'm talking to you on Instagram all the time.
Would you like a dick pic? It's a mosaic. But
it looks like Barack Obama. I'm almost done with Richard Nixon.
The hardest part is getting the peace sign up there.
Woodrow Wilson was tough.
I'm not even going to try Taft.
James K. Polk.
A million penises.
A million penises. There's a lot of penises in Taft.
Yes. Historically.
So anyway, that's one of the front one. I decided to pay my bills over the weekend drunk because I thought that'd be a great thing to do. And I got really upset with my cable company because for some reason your bill will mysteriously go up and it's like, and you'll call and be like, well, you had this discount or this promotion. And you say to them, well, why, I've been your customer for X amount of years, why don't I get a loyalty discount now? And they hem and haw and say, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. So you got to say the magic words. And I was taught this by a guy when I talked to him from AT&T. He said, you have to mention canceling. Every time I mention canceling my service or anything, you can almost hear the papers being rustled and everything else. They're like, oh, shit. and they transfer you then. So that's the next level boss. Yeah. So that's how you get to the next level boss.
Nice.
You just say, I'm about to cancel my shit, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I bitched him out because I'm like, why do you give these? It's kind of like the current unemployment situation where these people got all this extra money, but yet the people that worked all through it didn't get shit, just their regular wages.
Yeah.
How does that seem fair? That doesn't seem right.
No.
Not to get political. Oh, man. Drunken Phil went on another rant the other night because I went to a place to eat, and the food was fantastic. But they had cheap fucking ketchup. That bothers the shit out of me.
Oh. Like a generic ketchup?
Yeah, like the stuff that you get from off the back of the truck.
Great value.
Yeah, or some shit. And I'm like, God damn it. So your burger's amazing. These fries are fucking awesome. And I put ketchup on my burger. I damn near scraped it off. I really almost did.
Oh, damn.
Drunk Phil was very upset about this. He underlined cheap ketchup 4 times. Drunk Phil also was pissed at fucking Banks, too.
Oh, banks deserve to be pissed.
You know why? Drunk Phil, sober Phil got his car loan. He wanted it through Huntington Bank. And they said, well, no, we go through Chemical. So Chemical became TCF. Mm-hmm. And now TCF, guess what? Is Huntington. So Phil got his wish.
When did that happen? I bet
it just happened this week, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So what the fuck? Isn't that a breach of contract? These banks can just pass your accounts around like it's nothing, but you can't have any recourse?
No.
Yeah.
It's in their contract. They can sell your loans.
That it's just bullshit. Fuck, these things all grind my gears, by the way. I put gear grind on the top.
Nice.
These are my gear grinds, especially Drunken Phil. Yeah. So that's just the notes. I mean, just a little bit to think about. Drunk Phil was pretty active the other day. I don't know.
I had something I was going to mention, and I didn't mention it to you because I didn't want, and now I can't remember. But I'm really going to try hard.
So that wasn't as great as I would have expected, but still some good nuggets in there. I mean,
well, yeah. I'm still reeling from the fact that my bank got bought again. Wah, wah.
So what we're precipitating back to, precipitously, as the guy would say, we're getting back to it just being all one bank again, because it was a monopoly at one point, and it got broken up by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're just all collecting on top of each other once again.
Yeah. It's a mad cash grab.
Yeah. Fucking banks. Think about it. Think about the premise of a fucking bank. Supposedly you put your money in a fucking bank for safekeeping because it's federally insured and whatnot and all this other bullshit. Have you ever seen a bank lobby that's just an absolute dump? But if they're all really nice and the employees are paid well, where's that money coming from?
No, the employees are not paid well.
Well, some banks. If you work your way up.
If you work your way up. But like the people who are the face of the bank, tellers that actually do everything, they're not paid well.
They don't get paid shit. It's okay.
But, so I'll go on to my quick bank rant.
Oh.
After working for a bank for some time, I noticed certain things. Banks don't produce anything.
No.
They produce nothing. And then they go out and you go into any big city, with Detroit being one of the exceptions because of the Renaissance Center. But it's still pretty prevalent. All the biggest buildings are going to have bank names at the top.
Right.
Why? Because they don't produce shit. They basically steal from everybody, and they do all these fees. I mean, it's amazing to me how they're allowed to just basically rob everybody, and we all just take it.
It's what we call a racket.
Yes.
It's a fucking racket.
It's legal racketeering.
We should make a run. We should make a run on the banks.
Yes. I believe
like
that's
they did
called
back in the day, yeah. Well, sure.
We should rob the stage.
Rob the stage. Wells Fargo. Today's podcast brought to you by Wells Fargo. Bitch, we've got your money. That should be your slogan. Bitch, we've got your money.
Yeah, I think it is.
Bitch, we've got your money. So apparently we have some sponsors interested. It's fucking crazy. Get the fuck out of here.
So if you're listening and you're a possible sponsor, don't listen to episode 2.
Or do. If you like black eyes and masturbating, listen to episode 2.
Wait, black eyes?
Black eyes, not black eyes. Yeah. I mean, there were no black people involved. I'm sorry.
Those of you who had your hopes up, you're going to have to wait for another episode.
Yeah, well, you do what you got to do.
I kind of choked in my finger a little.
Hey! What's happening? I don't know. Do you have steaks? Lyndon, do you have steaks yet? For steak and onion? What the shit, man?
Man, somebody's pissed. I don't blame them.
I think those guys are a little pissed off.
Well, when you come in and you're craving that big steak and on a bun with onions, and that doesn't happen.
No.
You're upset, and that's understandable.
Try the chicken sandwich. It's really good.
They make one here.
It's honestly can tell it's chicken, actually.
Impossible.
Don't even start. Fuck you, vegans out there and vegetarians, vegans, everybody.
Vegans are made of
shit.
Yeah. If you don't want to eat a cow, eat cow shit, because that's mostly grass.
That's true. I've inadvertently eaten cow shit before. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so it's hard not to. At some point, you're going to get cow shit kicked into your mouth.
Or into it like a casserole.
Or into your diet soda that you're drinking. I don't drink diet soda anymore. It gives me heartburn.
Mom, there's cow shit in my meatloaf.
Mom, did you mean to put cow shit in this quiche? I know chickens poop eggs, but
I've been out all day trying to find one in the cow shit. There are no eggs in there.
Where do baby cows come from, Mom?
Well, when two cows love each other very much and are forced into a pen together, and
one of them, the female, is in what they call heat,
and the farmer holds the tail to the side, and then another farmer comes up with a syringe and a glove up to his shoulder. Magical things happen.
Speaking of bulls, let's talk about some of these responses we've gotten on Facebook.
So this is the kind of stuff that can fuel a podcast.
Yeah. So Miss Ashley Roper sent us a message.
Sounds fake.
And she said, "Holo, Holo, Hollo." And then she said, "Amanda Nicole Farmer." Maybe that's her actual name. She said, it just says, "It's in your hotel in there, bull me." Bull me. And I said, and you responded, "From the dream, your hotel is visible to space." And then she sent us that from hotel. And it's a bill. And I just responded, "Strong like bull," because she wanted us to bull her.
Yeah.
And so I have a theory about this.
I think it was an invitation.
Yeah. So then, of course, she sent us this article about former Florida Department of Health employee something. And then she said, "She's something my baby." Whatever. This person, I don't know. But it's fucking wild. So, of course, I then sent her the article I send everybody when they send me nonsense, which is from historyofyesterday.com, which is 7 farts that changed history. It's a fascinating read, by the way.
So, is this possibly code? Do we need a PNA Podcast Express decoder ring?
Perhaps.
To go through this?
So then she sent the article about the health department employee whistleblower thing and another picture of the invoice for the hotel room from May 10th, 2021 this year. And I have a theory. So the response that she responded to the podcast that had Steve Gutenberg as the picture that accompanied the link.
Yes.
Do you think this woman banged by Steve Gutenberg and now she
probably paid the money for a day?
Yeah.
And got her money's worth.
I'm thinking she's thinking we're Steve Gutenberg.
She could, or she thinks we're the other PNA podcast.
Oh, could be.
We did not have relations with that woman in her hotel room.
She wanted.
I did not wear bull horns.
She wanted one of us to sit in the corner and watch.
I was more than happy to.
But it turned out
that's my favorite thing.
It turned out we were both just sitting in corners, and she just did all the work herself.
She had some kind of bowl in there. I don't know.
It was wild. It turned into the rodeo like I went to a state fair one time.
There was more clowns in the hotel room, though.
I opened the bathroom door 23 clowns came out. I don't know how they all fit in there.
So, yeah, so if you are this lady and you can make a complete sentence, please email us again.
We appreciate the enthusiasm that you think that we bowled you in a hotel room.
Yeah. And
because we don't have the equipment for that.
I'll be honest, if we bowled her in a hotel room, she probably wouldn't be able to speak English anyways. So there may be truth to this. True.
All right. And then one John Devin just sent us his name. This is, hi, John Devlin, all one word. And no spaces. So I, of course, sent him the obligatory 7 farts that changed history link. No response yet.
Nice.
No response yet.
Well, that takes a while to digest and go through.
Right. Another one of my favorites here we appreciate is Joshua Hansen. Joshua Hansen. He said, do you like Police Academy? And I responded, yes. And Steve Guttenberg is our hero.
Accurate.
He then responded, I love Police Academy, and I also have the uniform that he wore in the first Police Academy. I love Steve Guttenberg. He's cool. He's also in Short Circuit. And I then responded, and 3 Men and a Baby.
He's one of the men.
He's one of the men. And he responded, true, what state are you in? I'm in Wisconsin. I said, we are in Michigan. Cool. I wish I could meet you guys in person. And he also starred in the new Poseidon Adventure. And I'm like, your knowledge of Steve Guttenberg is vast, my friend. I remember that one. You enjoy the podcast? And he said, yes, all the time, every time. I enjoy it always.
Well, we do appreciate every listener, even those who wear cheddar on their head. We'll take them all.
I should ask if he's a Packers fan. I'm going to send that to him. Are you a Packers fan? This is live action, folks. I'm typing this out to him right now. Because I want to know.
Maybe we'll get a response. I want to know. Josh can respond. Be ready on the keyboard.
Yeah, send us something you want us to say. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever.
Remember, for $5, we'll say 50 words in our choice of order.
That's right. Thank you for bringing back that promotion. That's a good callback.
It is.
Those are the early days of the podcast. That's when we were in the teens for episodes.
Yeah. I think we need to send out a couple bills on that.
We do. We do need to collect those. Somebody said they wanted to send us some money, too, and I said, well, why don't you just wait till one of us goes to jail and then just bail us out?
Yeah, that's probably money better spent.
Yeah, it seems like there's more of a future in that. We also have, and I'm trying to confirm if this is actually him, but I do believe it is, a director for a film about veteran suicide said he'd love to discuss it on our podcast. I think we should invite him on.
I do, too.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great time to spend on our podcast. And
absolutely.
Give him a shout-out, and he's... he does have an IMDb, and he's made some movies that are national. So if it's really him, that'd be a good get for a guest for an interview for us.
It would be. It might be a little more serious subject matter than we're used to dealing with. I mean,
we're not probably going to joke around a whole lot about that, but that's okay.
I will now. I mean, I'll mention that there's not a whole lot of veterans of suicide.
No. I mean, it's kind of a one-and-done situation.
No, on that note,
I apologize for that there.
If you don't make me laugh when I'm in the middle of saying something serious, you jackass.
Just like making Eddie laugh during the obituaries. Yeah. I got a slap on the wrist for that one from the station manager.
Oh, well. From the assistant or the regular?
Both.
Oh.
And Laura thought it was funny, though.
They double-teamed you.
They did. They're both ends, man. I was a pig on a spit.
Yep. But if you are, if you're thinking those types of thoughts, reach out to somebody. Reach out to us. We love emails. Email us.
So, if you're having those dark thoughts and you're in a terrible place, send us an email.
Everybody's been there.
Yeah,
you're not alone.
Yeah.
And just, true. Remember one screw-up or one bad thing that happens in your life definitely doesn't define it.
That's for sure.
Look at episode 2.
And remember who suicide, true. Suicide really affects. It doesn't affect the person who commits it as much as it does the people that love and are still here.
Yeah. Most definitely. All right, off our soapbox.
All right, so tonight's feature presentation as far as essays comes to us from, you may have heard of this guy, Benjamin Franklin. Written in 1781. This is an academic essay to the Royal Academy of Farting, and it is titled Fart Proudly.
Nice.
So Benjamin Franklin wrote this, and what it explores is there has to be something you could possibly consume to make your farts appealing to people instead of unappealing. He says,
is there science to this?
There is. He talks about that.
Nice.
So he says, my private question therefore should be to discover some drug, wholesome and not disagreeable, to be mixed with our common food or sauces that shall render the natural discharges of wind from our bodies not only inoffensive, but agreeable as perfumes.
Damn.
So he said, this is not a chimerical project and altogether impossible may appear from these considerations, that we already have some knowledge of means capable of varying that smell. He that dines on stale flesh, especially with much addition of onions, shall be able to afford a stink that no company can tolerate. He's very whimsical. While he that has lived for some time on vegetables only shall have the breath so pure as to be insensible to the most delicate noses. If he can manage to, so as to avoid the report, he may anywhere give vents to his griefs unnoticed. So, from now on, everybody, I want all of our listeners, when you're about to fart, say, I'm about to vent my griefs.
Yes. Unnoticeably.
Yes, unnoticed. So he says, vent to his griefs.
Due to my high vegetable diet.
Due to my unsatiable high vegetable diet.
And my inaudible venting, you will not notice.
You will not notice. My griefs have gone unnoticed. This is legit. He wrote this as satire, as a joke. So this was humor back in 1781.
This is no joke.
This is legit a thing. A thing. So anyway, he just goes on and on about, maybe there's some quick lime thrown into Jake's and gives some suggestions, maybe a powder you actually drink or, same effect that air produced in issuing from our bowels. This is worth the experiment, he says. And he concludes that stanza with, why should it be thought more impossible in nature to find means of making a perfume of our wind than of our water? He also mentions, asparagus. He mentions asparagus making your pee smell bad, and all other things can make it smell better. And he ends it with this is actually 2.5 pages too, by the way. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we should just do me reading the whole thing at some point.
Yeah, that would make a quick trip.
Okay, we'll do that. And he goes on about philosophy and utility, science, and colloquial things, and it's magnificent. Yeah, he suggests some smells, perhaps musk or lily, rose, or bergamot. Okay, whatever, dude. Benjamin Franklin, with his epic piece, "Fart Proudly," in 1781.
If you're Ben Franklin,
do you enjoy that?
That was nice.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah,
a lot of grief for thought.
Yeah, that is a great phrase, though. Oh man, she's dressed like a jelly donut. That's great, though. That's great.
If you think about it, if you're Ben Franklin,
vent to his griefs,
and you are a ladies' man.
Oh yeah,
much like he was.
Ben Franklin got around. He was a
whore. Yeah, powder wig and all. So if you're Ben Franklin back then, it would be a concern. I'm sure that your diet was just awful,
right?
And you were rotting out from the inside.
Oh yeah.
And so he probably wanted to explore such a thing.
Could you imagine some of those farts back then? Holy Christ.
Ben, you just discovered electricity. What are you going to do now? Well, I've got some awful griefs that I need to get rid of.
I have the airing of the grievances. Not to be confused with the airing of the grievances for Festivus.
Yes, the Festivus for the rest of us.
Good strength to weight ratio. It's made out of aluminum.
So yeah.
Yep. So Ben Franklin. Yeah, Ben Franklin wrote an essay considered one of his great to the Royal Academy of Farting. Does such thing exist? I didn't do my due diligence and check on that.
Well, the magic of the internet.
See, the beauty was he was actually living in France at the time, they said, so he really was tired of their bullshit, it sounds like. Because he was a U.S. what do they call that? Searching for the word. Ambassador.
When I look at the Royal Academy of Farting, the only thing that comes up is fart proudly.
See? This is a thing. I did not make this up. I do appreciate that people think that we do make a lot of these things up, like that podcast or this essay, but I'm not that brilliant. Trust me. I appreciate that people think that I might be. It's nice. It's flattering.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm not that. When it comes to comedy, I'm just not all that funny. Mr. Gilmore, how you doing?
It appears that the Royal Academy of Farting may have been a farce.
Okay.
But I did find a thing in here about how a fart killed 10,000 people.
Oh, that's in the that's in that article that I've sent out. Seven most historically devastating farts, or whatever the title
Ancient
of it is.
Jerusalem, a single fart caused the violent deaths of 10,000 people.
Tell me more.
Well, we will look
Holy
up more.
balls.
So how do you kill someone? I mean, this kind of technology could get in the wrong hands.
This is like Tesla's death ray here. Which is something, Tesla wanted to create a system for everyone to actually get electricity for free. The government shut him down. Go figure it.
So apparently, a history of the Jewish war against the Romans in his book War of the Jews, published AD 75, describes a bonkers tale in which a toot from a soldier triggered a revolt against Jerusalem's rulers. In Jerusalem between 600 and 500 BC, a cohort of heavily armed Roman soldiers were guarding a temple during the celebration of Passover. The Romans, who held control of Jerusalem at the time, apparently always kept guard at the festivals to prevent any disturbances. Or, obviously, not flatulence, though. According to Josephus, one of the soldiers pulled back his garment and, cowering down after in an indecent manner...
Is there any decent manner to cower down?
He turned his breech to the Jews.
And he aired his grievances.
The vulgar guard then spake such words as you might expect upon such a posture.
I fart in your general direction.
While it is not clear exactly what Josephus meant by this, some have read in his comments to mean that the soldier farted at the crowd.
So basically, if this guy wouldn't have farted at that crowd, Anne Frank probably would have been able to write a second diary.
Yes, it seems to me like this was the start of the persecution of the Jews.
Because of a fart.
Back in 600 BC.
Now they're just selling appliances. That's a callback to the pre-show.
Yes. They squeezed to one another till 10,000 of them were killed.
Wow, from a fart.
That's amazing. I mean, honestly, that could go on your resume.
Dude, yes.
I shut myself and killed 10,000 people.
Any skills we should know about?
Are you part of any clubs? Well, I am part of the Royal Farting Academy.
We should start that, the Royal Academy of Farting.
Yes.
The Royal Academy of Farting.
Can we make that a religious sect so that we can get write-offs? And
of course.
Ordain people to marry people?
Of course. And we can take donations and we can buy podcast equipment with it.
We have to come up with something catchy to say at the end of all of the wedding nuptials that our officials officiated. You may now shart on the bride.
The fart that killed 10,000 people. Let me tell you all of the tale of the fart that killed 10,000 people.
Let me hearken back to a time.
Picture, if you will.
If you can.
Open your mind's eye to this.
And close your nose.
To be experienced with both your nose as well as your ears. I have a story to tell.
Think, if you will, of smell-o-vision.
Think of this story as being presented in 4D. We've reached the dimension of your smells.
4D or 1B?
It's just odor.
So, alright, we killed at least 10 minutes on that.
Ugh. I know. you always want. I know. I talk about farts a lot. I do, but they're very important to me.
Well, they're a big part of your life.
They're a huge part of my life. I live alone, all by myself, and really the only thing that makes me laugh is when I fart. Honestly,
Yeah.
when I'm by myself.
I can see that.
Yeah, because I'm not that funny. I'm telling you.
I mean,
I've lived with myself for over 42 years, and I'm not that funny.
no. Everybody agrees with that.
I know they do. That's why you're on this podcast. You're the funny guy.
I don't know about that.
You're the creative genius. I'm just.
But I haven't created anything.
You've created 65 episodes of this podcast.
I have produced.
Oh, you're a producer.
Yes. Executive producer.
I'm just not that funny. I'm sorry. Like I've been trying.
Hold on. Wait. No, I don't hear any arguments.
Yeah. So I really don't have to debate this point then, do I?
I would argue against it. I would say that you have your moments.
Yeah.
Definitely.
On occasion.
Yeah. Usually by accident.
Usually
Or at your expense.
I will take credit for about maybe 7 to 10% of the funniness of this podcast. The rest is all you, Adam. So you're at 90 to 93%. That's efficient, as Mike Smith would say.
Isn't that just passing blame at this?
My mom says that if I don't stick my finger in my nose as much, I won't get as many nose bleeds.
You know, she blames me for the fact that the Roomba constantly gets caught on my penis. It's like, well, it goes on its own.
And I say, Mom, the Roomba wants what the Roomba wants.
The Roomba's going to get it.
That's right. If you love the Roomba, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was.
And if it runs over your penis in the process, that's a bonus.
That's right. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
That's never going to get old. That's never going to get old.
You guys don't have to work blue. I don't have to work blue.
You'll be
It ain't penis on here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So after my mom chided and scolded me about the fingers in my nose, I said, well, what's making my butt bleed then?
You know, every time you guys say penis, I have the radio turned up. My mom makes me turn it off.
And she says that I need to start working more on my gardening blog.
I hear the Roomba starting to get a note on it that says, turn that shit down.
She's in the Roomba because she knows I can't say no to the Roomba.
No. And I have a special relationship. It's the first and the last thing to ever touch my penis.
I took the Roomba on a date. I ate some good food and Mitch has vacuumed up the floor at the restaurant.
Yeah, it just went around bumping into people's legs. Didn't seem to have a lay of the land.
What the Roomba didn't know is it was a test. I wanted to see if the Roomba would hop on somebody else's dick. And she didn't, so she's loyal.
Loyal Roomba. And I discovered one day when my mom was using the Roomba that it had a penis. Flopping right around there on top. I was pretty shocked to find that out.
I mean, it was detachable and it was attached via suction cup, but oh man, that thing made that Roomba. It went from being 6 inches high to 28 inches tall.
I asked that. I'm like, well, what's your pronoun? It just said...
It's fucking funny.
I was like, sorry to offend. I don't know. Do Roombas make noise?
I don't know. Maybe they're like Teslas. I don't know.
I'm married, so I don't have to have one.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Mary, don't hit me.
You're making too much noise over there.
You're talking an awful lot tonight.
You're forming words, but they make no sense.
Those words you say, you speak them fast and accurately.
I'm a little bummed out the other P&A podcast wasn't... The health one is just shit. Let's check back in on him. Why don't we check in his...
All right,
what's that crazy asshole up to now?
Let's see what...
Is that really your name?
Let's see. Let's scroll down here in the archives.
Archivals? The way he speaks is just weird.
Episode 195, interview with Jai Yi Chow.
Jai Yi Chow!
NTU Singapore. Nonlinear Pedagogy. Pedagogy. Pedaggy. Pedagogy.
What is that? Let me Google flex that.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Still on the Perception in Action podcast. I'll interview with G.A. Chow from Nanyang Technology University in Singapore.
Yeah, technology.
Non-linear pedagogy. So it's time for a call to action.
Time for a call to action!
Hi everyone.
Stand by for news!
PerceptionAction.com. Welcome to the Perception in Action podcast, where I discuss how psychological research can be applied to improving performance, accelerating skill acquisition, and designing technology.
Skill acquisition!
In today's episode, my interview with G.A. Chow, we had a really fun conversation about nonlinear pedagogy.
I'm not having fun, dude.
What exactly is it? What has research shown about its
on Mondays.
effectiveness? What are some of the challenges coaches and instructors face in using it? Also, before getting to the interview, I wanted to mention the blog post I recently put on my website. This is accompaniment with episode 192, where I compared
You're gonna have to refer back to that.
Motherfucker, you doing us homework?
I think you just said something about
I
self-loving.
directly compared two training methods.
That's why I have
one
a
from each
Roomba.
camp for the same sports skill, correcting forearm fly.
This guy's lame as fuck.
Yeah. When you use that many words to say stuff like forearm fly, well, you're exercising.
He words up everything.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Adds a lot of lead to it.
Quick to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon.
Baconly.
Baconly. Let's add pedagogically to baconly.
Pedagogy baconly.
What the fuck is pedagogy? How is that spelled again?
Is that where you have a? Okay, I'm gonna make up a definition, and you tell me how close I get. Is that where you have a foot fetish, but you love more than one foot? Like polygamy.
Are you Daniel Day-Lewis now in My Left Foot?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a noun. It's the method and practice of teaching, especially as an academic subject or theoretical concept. So it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Mine was much better.
Yours was.
I like to think of it as foot polygamy.
So I went to the podiatrist, and I had 14 ingrown toenails. And I tried to go to my old podiatrist, but he's a pediatric podiatrist, and I'm no longer pediatric.
Yeah. My mom still makes me go to the pediatrician.
I like the aspirins.
All I can have is Tylenol for kids, grape liquid.
He doesn't know why my butt always bleeds.
Like, Mom, I'm never going to get over this cancer if you want me to have anything other than Tylenol for kids, grape liquid.
They're your cheeseburgers. You clean them up.
Well, I'm just insensitive to everybody tonight.
That's fuck them all, man. Just fuck them all. How could, no one can complain about being offended if you offend everyone?
That's true. That's why I don't shower.
I know. I've noticed. Jeez, I've noticed.
Hey, you can't be offended.
I'm not offended. That's why hippies wear patchouli so they can offend blind people too.
They like their clothes.
I fucking hate hippies.
Oh, God. Hippies and geese.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same. Fuck them all.
You know what you call a Cadillac that drives off a cliff with 7 hippies and 20 geese in it?
Good start.
No, tragedy, because it can hold 8 and 25.
Oh, that's true. Would it be bad to get more wings at the halftime?
I think you should. I think you should put in your order probably about 10 minutes here.
I really don't want more.
You're going to be farting like a howitzer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have to read Fart Proudly by Benjamin Franklin.
Oh.
I don't think wings are going to be conducive to nice smelling farts.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna live it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. One of the greatest things to happen to us in this podcast was to discover that other podcast, I swear.
Yeah, now we kind of
We got to find another one.
We probably have, but we got to find another one because this other P&A with this jackwad.
Oh, this sucks. Like, get the fuck out of here.
We're going to do masturbation podogeny.
So he's all up his own ass. Yes, in case you haven't noticed, he's all up his own ass. He makes up words, and he talks about theoretical theories. He talks about the theories of theoretical theories.
He's no Richard Simmons.
No.
Fucking.
He's a founding member of the Department for Redundancy Department.
Yes. Lee.
Yeah, Lee. What a fucking jackwagon.
I don't like him.
Let's go suck some balls.
That makes me want to change the name of the podcast.
Why don't you make like a Roomba and suck my dick?
Or run over it repeatedly.
Thank you, Lyndon. How's your Roomba doing?
My Roomba?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a she.
I like it. I like it.
It says a lot.
It says a lot. I like where your head's at. I made a little rant for my Roomba.
I let my Roomba go down the stairs to see how tough it is. Hard, tough love. That's what I like.
Fun fact, cows don't like going downstairs. I don't know why.
Neither do I. But then again, for cow listeners, boo.
What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Fucking terrible.
Oh.
That's what you call a one-legged woman, Eileen.
What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs on your doorstep? Matt. What do you gotta call a guy with no arms and no legs swimming? Bob.
Fucking killing it, man. Fucking killing it. Oh, no. Harsh crowd just came in.
Yes.
Not for this podcast. Rowdy Piper.
They're all looking over here.
Oh, that shit doesn't play anymore.
They're all looking over. I'm acting like I'm not talking. They're all looking over here.
Right now.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Could I be a ventriloquist? Just dumb.
Looks like I'm the only dummy with a hand up his ass here.
They keep looking over and staring at us.
Oh, no. I don't handle attention very well.
So there's only one dude with him. He's like 9. But I think I'm going to have to go rough him up to set precedents.
I think I'm going to go back to my blog, my gardening blog, write about my lilac bushes and my begonias. They're scarlet.
It's a table full of middle-aged women and a child. I'm scared of all of them.
Frankly, they all frighten me. Come on, in this neighborhood at this time of night?
I haven't been this scared since my mom made me watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. You know who's scary in movies? Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is very scary.
Even in the funny ones, he's pretty scary.
He's a lot to take in, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a lot. He confuses me with his charisma.
I had a dream one time that Jack Sparrow came in and plundered my Roomba.
And then he shoved the handle for the plunger up my ass.
And then he just stood on the thing right around.
He made the Roomba my ventriloquist. And the Roomba it moves its lips when it talks.
He told me he needed to complete the scene for the movie, so he shoved the Roomba up my ass and said, "There, that sucks."
And then he drank a glass of water while he made me talk.
And I was like, Roombas really don't suck. They just have a series of brushes that push things into a bin.
But picture that in the Captain Jack Sparrow character.
Yes. He'd be a very good Captain Jack Sparrow.
Why is there a drunken gay pirate in this movie?
Oh, I thought you were going to say at that table.
No. If I ran into a drunken gay pirate, I'd probably be his friend. Yeah.
Why not? How many drunken gay pirates are you going to meet in your lifetime?
Not very many.
Well, I could probably count them on one hand.
Yeah. the guy that works down at the 7-Eleven. Yeah, and then there's the one that works at the carpet store. And that's all I got.
There's the one that works at the arcade, but I think he just dresses up for it because they pay him to.
That's right. Ever since the mechatronic mouse died.
So,
if you're going to ever be a pirate, play it gay. Play it gay all the way.
Yeah.
Just be as flamboyant as you possibly can.
How do you say R and be like in a gay tone? R. Gay. That might do it. R.
R. Excuse me. Is there a question mark at the end of that?
Oh boy.
Somebody at work was saying something the other day, and they're like, the other day, and they like trailed off, and I'm like, are you gonna finish that thought? He's like, I forgot what I was saying. I said, you weren't actually saying anything. He's like, you're right. And I said, are you having a stroke?
So I was working on something today, and I had to kind of concentrate a little bit, and I was talking to somebody while I was doing it, and I totally stopped the sentence because I'm that kind of ass.
Yeah.
You know? And then, 5 minutes later, they're like, you were saying something and you stopped when you were thinking. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember now.
You know what one of my favorite things to do to grind people's gears? Answer questions that aren't yes or no questions with yes or no. People fucking hate that.
How are you doing today? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Marv Eller. Yes. Yes. So, another thing I do, and I'm an asshole as well. If somebody answers my question with a question, I answer that question with a question. I too can answer questions with a question. What do you think about that?
So, I have a burning question.
Go on.
If you're a Sirius XM DJ, do you realize that nobody gives a shit what you say?
They are the fucking worst, aren't they?
They are.
Madison, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And
everybody loves Madison. She loves to sing. She likes to talk about being Jewish and her dad cheating on her mom and Thursdays going to McDonald's. And we get it. We get it.
There's this chick.
Oh, I love Howard Stern. And he loves me. Of course he does. You're blonde and attractive.
There's this chick.
It's not a complicated formula.
No. There's this chick on there that she's on all the rock channels like Turbo and...
Oh, it's Cat Corbett?
Yeah. She doesn't know what a pop screen is on a microphone.
No.
I mean, we don't use a pop screen here, and every now and then I catch myself, I'm like... Yeah.
That's what you get without a pop screen.
She does that all the time. I mean, I'm serious. She can blow my speakers out.
You've got to soften yourself up a little.
Well, I don't talk directly into the microphone.
No, neither of us do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little close, but then you soften it up.
Sometimes I bring it close.
What's that guy's name? Not Barry White. It's you had the guy that told the story on one of the Laura podcasts, and it was pretty good. About who you're imitating when you have your sexy little song.
Yeah, yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, shit.
With Van Goghs. There you go.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
We had, when I lived in my one apartment in Seattle.
Isaac Hayes, that's what it was.
My ex-wife and I lived in an apartment in Seattle, and the guy above us, I called him the Buffalo because he walked. He just picked them up and tromped them down. That motherfucker walked like a buffalo, so I called him the Buffalo. Well, black guy, which has nothing to do with anything other than when you could tell when he had a lady over and it was sexy time because he'd always put on the Barry White and the Isaac Hayes. And you're like, oh shit, the Buffalo's getting some.
Shut.
Shut your mouth. Shut. So we'd be like, oh, the Buffalo's getting laid tonight.
You hear the hooves a-clacking.
Just a clacking. And I said, that ain't no Roomba.
Actually, who I imitate when I do that voice is the guy in Saginaw.
Yes.
That I talked about on the podcast.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, baby, I think you're right. The smallest man on the planet. I mean, 5'8".
They called him a tripod, though, because he was probably hung like a horse.
Probably.
Yeah. With that horse.
Yeah. Yo, should we get some of these? Yeah, baby, I think you're right.
Nailed it.
It was so out of place. So out of place. Made me double take. Mickey was with me. He's just like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, baby, I think you're right.
Well, we followed him around hoping he'd say something else. It's like, that voice couldn't have been that low. We had to be hearing shit.
You were hoping he was going to be in the chips aisle and say something like, Cool Ranch Doritos are underrated.
Oh, look, they got a great sale on these.
You gotta get them wavy.
You can get buy one, get one. If you want wavy, you can have wavy. I'm going to get the fruit chips.
Yeah, baby, I think we should. Hey, baby, I got a coupon for this shit.
It was amazing. I mean, he looked like the wetsuit stretched over a skeleton.
Yeah.
But like, couldn't have been more than 100 pounds, 5'8", 5'9".
He had the radio voice we could only aspire to have.
And he was old, so it's probably for smoking.
That's the thing that I like the least about myself, besides everything, is my voice.
Yeah.
I'm very loathsome. I'm very, very loathsome. I don't like myself. I'm working on being kinder to myself, but I still don't have to like myself.
Well, that's like the bully that tries to be kind to everyone else. You're kind of your own bully.
Yeah, I am. I very much am.
Yeah. It's got to be hard to live with.
I hold myself back from a lot of things. I sabotage myself. Yeah. That's why Trumpville is so free and uninhibited, because he doesn't sabotage himself. He just goes for it.
Right. Well, he does sabotage Soberville a little bit.
A lot. He sabotages Soberville a lot.
Hey, Phil, got plans tomorrow? You're going to be in the bathroom all day.
Because I'm eating these rotten eggs. Hey, Phil, guess what I did? You're going to open the fridge in the morning to get a glass of juice, and I left the milk with the cap precariously on it, leaned against the door, so it was going to drop out when you open it. Yes, Drunk Phil did that.
What kind of an ass, but yet ninja is that guy?
See, it's fucking amazing. Drunk Phil one time, and when he lived in his apartment in Mason, was in the refrigerator and forgot that he had opened the freezer door above it and stood up so quickly it ripped the freezer door off the refrigerator. And Sober Phil woke up the next day and like, why is the door duct taped to the freezer?
I knocked when I was a young single man, knocked out like all the lattice on the deck. Well, a whole bunch of it, like several panels of it, because it had rained like the night before and I wanted to start a bonfire.
Yeah.
And so the wood was a little bit wet enough that you couldn't light it. So I thought, I'm just going to break this lattice up off the deck and it'll burn.
Yeah.
Woke up the next day and I didn't have any lattice on the deck.
It's been up there for decades.
It's been there for a long time. That's going to be dry wood.
It's got to be some really, really dry wood. Speaking of dry wood, I went on a date the other night.
Tell us more.
I tried to get to second base, but I tripped over first.
And then the pitcher balked and the inning was over.
And then she made me pay for my own meal.
Next thing I knew, the Roomba was out sweeping the infield.
I said she said she would pay for the entire date, but she never did.
We've had a fascination with Roombas lately.
I had to pay for my own chicken tenders. She ordered a steak.
We went to a great restaurant. They had phenomenal chicken tenders.
I could tell they were hand-cut and handmade there in-house.
It wasn't a house, so it was a restaurant.
But if it were a house, that's where I want to live. Because Mom doesn't make chicken tenders like that.
Mom also doesn't wait on me.
She gets them out of her bag.
She also doesn't wear little orange shorts and a tank top around the house.
I kept staring at her shoes, though, because they were very white.
They were super nice, and I didn't want to seem like, I was being forward.
So I stared at her shoes the whole time.
She had great shoes.
She not much of a personality, though. I think I have way more personality than she did. But she said she makes a lot of money in tips, and I didn't understand. But when I looked up at her, I wondered how she stays upright, because she was very top-heavy.
I don't know how she could breathe in that tight shirt.
But I guess her personality is making her all the money.
Yes. Oh.
I like their mascot at that restaurant. It's an owl.
I do got to see, where are they at in their hits?
Whose hits?
The
P&A podcast? The fitness version?
So they were at 5 last week on their lowest podcast.
Oh, the good P&A podcast.
They were at 5.
Okay.
What do you think they're at right now?
11.
17.
Are you fucking shitting me?
You guys are welcome.
You know they're going to bring this shit back because they're like, oh, it's exploded.
I can hear it right now. Austin, do you want to possibly start the podcast up again?
We've quadrupled our numbers, Austin. Maybe we should bring it back, and maybe this time we'll make it go, because it's obvious we've reached the tipping point.
Mom said we could use the garage, so the Roomba didn't bother us as much.
And it has decent acoustics in there because it has a cement floor.
And we can start releasing the podcast on Fridays
because
at 7:30 in the morning, because now I have better than dial-up internet, and it won't take 4 days for it to upload.
You've got mail.
Ding, 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 ding.
You see, Austin, I told you that we'd be successful one day.
I'm using AOL.
You got mail.
AOL has one dial-up line in the greater Chicago area, and I tie that thing up at least 23 hours a day. I'm able to get like 2 MP3s a day on my dial-up.
I just downloaded that one track from Sugar Ray. It's great.
Been listening to a whole lot of some of the new stuff out, like POD and
Have you heard of these guys? System of a Down.
Brooks and Dunn, they're cowboys. I don't know,
Oh, and if there's a boogie, it better be a boot scoop.
A boot scoop and boogie.
I think it's time for a boogie. A boot scoop boogie.
Oh,
That's my impression of Jimmy Dickens off of Letterkenny. There better be a boot scootin' boogie playing.
I think we've done beat the hell out of this dog.
Game over, man.
So we're probably going to cut this to an end.
On behalf of all of us on the PNA Podcast Express, we want to express the sincerest thank yous for listening. Share it with your friends, your families, your foes. We can be found on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. Email us at PNA Podcast Express.
Also on Google Podcast.
PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com or Pineapple Nipple Arsehole. That's all one word. This Arsehole, ARSEHOLE, at gmail.com.
Assholes wouldn't give us assholes.
We tried. Mm-hmm. So he is Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nichol. Hey, make good choices.